Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Now, this is actually a special episode because this is the 50th episode to be loaded on the channel, which I am very happy about. So I just want to take a moment to just thank all of you for watching the videos, for subscribing, for being part of this amazing journey. Because, you know, when I started this channel a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, I never thought we would get to this point, but, you know, the channel has been growing. And at this point, as I'm recording it, we are on 130 subscribers, and this would not have been possible without the continued support of you guys who constantly watch the videos. And I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for making this journey quite possible and just making it so enjoyable to do this. So thank you all, and please do stay tuned for some more episodes as we carry on and finish up Ancestors and move on to some other projects as we go along as well. But without any further ado, let's actually jump right into it and evolve our species. We are currently Auroran tuganensis. We have already gone through Sahelanthropus chadensis, a species found in West Africa, and I'm not sure whether we'll be able to make it up to the next species after Auroran, but we may. I have gone through another generational leap. We are now ready to do a bit of an evolution leap, and let's have a look and see how far we can get with this one. We are on a little bit over 7 million years ago. We have now evolved another 1.6 million years, which is quite awesome. 1.7 million years with the birds added up. And that means we are at 5.4 million years ago, and that means we have reached the species called Ardipithecus ramidus, Ardi, as it is also called. Now, this is a species that most likely was more bipedal than Auroran, and far more bipedal than the other species before it, Sahelanthropus, for example, or the theoretical ancestor before that. So here we go. Looking a little bit meaner than usual. Doing better at using a bit of tools. And I think the Ardipithecus here we'll be able to run on 2 legs permanently, which is going to increase our movement speed in the savanna. And we thankfully have started our new little settlement somewhere in the savanna. I think I know where this is. We'll have to find out and travel again from here, of course. It is a brand new world, and let's have a look and see what we can do with us in it. Okay. First of all, of course, we're going to get a drink because we are not on 2 legs permanently yet. We are going to get there soon enough, though. But we are going to get a drink just to prevent the heat from damaging us. And then, of course, I am just going to get into the baby making business over here and get all the adults and go and chill somewhere and start a family. Alright, and so we have done our generational leap, and we are armed and dangerous, heading out towards the meteorite way over there. But we are basically here at the 2-trunk oasis, and this is the one with the hippos right next to it. So we have a nice source of food should we decide to tackle the most dangerous mammal in Africa, or probably in the world. Oh, hello. Where's a snake? There's a snake here somewhere. Right in front. You know what? We're just going to go and poke him with a stick. There we go. Get rid of the green mamba. Don't want to accidentally get envenomated by him or bitten by him. Now, I am very close to actually becoming bipedal completely, but there is one thing I still need to do, and that is get enough neuronal energy so that I can actually... There we go. Ah, I haven't managed to kill it. I was hoping that 1 strike would be enough to kill that one. Unfortunately not. Okay. But I need to get enough neuronal energy so that I can actually strengthen that neuronal pathway and make it permanent. As it is at the moment, I unfortunately am not running around on 2 legs permanently yet. which does still suck, but soon enough we'll be able to do that. Oh, and looky what we have there, the Stegotetrabelodon. Now, in the previous episode, I kept on calling them Stegotetrabelodonts, but they are not dont at the T at the end. They are just Stegotetrabelodon, with stego referring to roof. Yeah, so it's the elephant with the roof tusks, full roof tusks. So, you know, the roof refers to their molars, which have got these high ridges all along to help grind down food. And then, of course, tetra meaning four and bella being beautiful. Now, bella, interesting, could also mean war, depending on whether you have it with one L or two L's. I know bella, horrida bella is war, terrible war, if I'm not mistaken. But that's Latin anyway. Now, it is becoming morning, of course, and that means we will need to get some sun protection. And so we have just each grabbed a leaf. I'm just trying to get my hominids to all drop their sticks and alter the leaves in the right way, so that we can all apply this to our bodies. Let's have a look whether all of this works. So we're getting them to drop and pick up items as we go along. Switch hands, each time telling them to repeat the process. And then applying, and again, we'll be telling them to do this at the end, as I finish doing this. And there they go. Interesting about the Ardipithecus is it is believed that this species had, due to the development of the larynx and the things that they found, it is believed that this species had a relatively complex language, not like spoken language like us, but with the language they used to communicate with one another appeared to have been quite complex, which is the first of the hominids or hominins that they found that actually has this, which I think is quite amazing. But when I was at the base and I was studying, or settlement, I was telling the elders to stay behind, they actually seem to communicate a little bit more intensely than they used to. So the reason we did the aloes on us, of course, was against the sun, or some sun protection. So just always good when coming out into the savannah to have some protection against the sun. Otherwise that heat stroke will kill you. Let's just check whether there's anything dangerous. Now, when we have gotten obsidian rocks, we may go back to those baobabs over there and go and try and kill one of these Stegotetrabelodon elephants. So we'll have a look then. Now though, we're just going to go and discover this little spot. Will give us a nice bit of neuronal energy, so that we can permanently start running around on two legs. Now, the reason I keep on wanting to get into two legs is because it is a faster mode of transportation, or of movement at least, and it just looks cool. I want to be able to run around on two legs in this game. Now, Ardipithecus, as I've mentioned, was probably the one that managed to walk on two legs a little bit better. Now, originally, and this is quite interesting to me at least, most anthropologists believe that hominids started walking upright in the open savanna, like we are here, to see over the tall grasses. So if you are down on the ground, and let's see, there we go, if you are down on the ground, this is what you see. So you really are limited a little bit in what you can see, but then being able to stand up means you can of course see a little bit further. And it was believed that that was why certain hominids started walking upright, to be able to see over the tall grasses. But Ardipithecus, which we currently are playing as, did the walking on two legs thing first of the hominids that they've discovered thus far. And they were living in denser woodland. They were not really in savanna like we are here, but they were in more of a relatively open woodland, you know, the greener part that we were in previously. So the habitat at the back there, that's where they most likely occurred. Okay, so the Buffalo's Basin Oasis, that's where we currently are. And so that throws a bit of a spanner in the works of, you know, hominids evolving bipedalism to be able to see over the tall grasses, because it means we didn't start walking on two legs for that reason, which I think is quite interesting. Anyway guys, we are going to, now that we are here, we've got a bit of neuronal energy as well. I'm just going to put down a little sleeping spot and spend some neuronal energy to become bipedal. And there we go, we are now officially Bipedal. Ah, this is marvelous. Oh yeah, go stab the kitty. That's the stalker cat. You can see I already have one one stick in him, and one of our hominids decided to go and stab another, put another stick in his backside. Marvelous. Always good to carry around a big stick. Now there is something interesting I observed at the top there. So we're just going to make our way up, and there's a reason I'm taking the cycad stem with us, just in case there isn't one up there. There's a new source of food. I don't think we have actually looked at that source of food over there. Oh, look at this. This is marvelous. Oh, I'm thoroughly enjoying running around like this. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Okay, now where's that? There we go. There's the source of food. A termite mound. I don't think we've actually... No, we haven't investigated the termite mound at all. So, in order to actually get to the termites, what you need is a natal grass stem. And this is going to be an interesting source of food for us. There we go. This will be a termitarium. Isoptera nidus. Isoptera is the order to which the termites belong. The termite order. Iso meaning the same. And then terra with a silent P means a wing. So it's basically the two pairs of wings in the alert stage. And if I have a photo, I'll put it up on there. The alert stage, which is the flying termites. Their wings, the front and the hind wings, are the same size, and that's what Isoptera means. And these are now harvested termites. Now, they call it here harvested termites, which I think is, I missed the name there, but I think it's Hodotermites. And unfortunately, they don't build mounds like this, not as far as I know. The Hodotermites that we have, at least in South Africa, actually form nests that are mostly underground, and then a little bit of a mound, or a few smaller mounds all over the place. And they don't build big mounds like this. Oh, we have gotten... we have some obsidian, which means that we may be able to go and hunt some elephants today. And I think that is actually what I'm going to be doing. Come to think of it. Alright, so the hunting expedition is ready. Each armed with 2 sticks. This is probably not going to be enough. But we are going to basically just make our way there. Before we go, there is something we should also do, and that is just protect ourselves against broken bones. And we are going to do that by eating lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of these cut leaves, which is going to give us the buff against broken bones. Because even if we make a successful attack against the elephant, there's still a chance that we are going to suffer from broken bones. Oh, I can't describe the feeling of being able to run around like this. Now, odds are of course good that we are going to be attacked or attack something on the way to the elephants, which will mean that we are going to need to make some more sticks again. But for now, let's head out and hope that we can get to the baobabs, which are in that direction. We can get to the baobabs and the elephants without anything attacking us or us attacking anything. Now, interesting, the baobabs, quite a lot of myths revolving around them. And there are actually 8 species of baobabs in the world, of which one occurs in Africa. Africa itself occurs actually all the way up to the Arabian Peninsula, which is quite interesting. And then there's one in Australia, and then 6 species. Let's just chase everything in the general vicinity way. 6 species of baobabs on Madagascar, which is quite amazing. Only one in Africa. And apart from the African one, all other baobabs are what we call diploid, which means they've got 2 copies of each chromosome. Whereas the African baobab is actually tetraploid, meaning that it's got 4 copies of each of the... there's a rhino and an elephant. Maybe able to chase the rhino. Right to the elephant. Oh, and they're not going to actually fight. Usually, or normally what can happen is you can have the rhino and the elephant fight here as well. But in any case, the African baobab over here is actually tetraploid, which means it's got 4 copies of each chromosome, which is quite weird. Let's just chase this guy away. Go away. We don't have time for you now, Mr. Black Macauridus or Black Amphimacauridus. We are on an elephant hunt. Now we are almost certainly going to be chased by it. Or charged by it almost immediately. Hello, Mr. Illy. Come on. There we go. That one is also wanting to charge us. We are after this specimen over here. Come on. Hello, Mr. Stegotetrabelodon. So interesting, notice the 2 tusks in the lower jaw and 2 in the upper jaw as we are making our way here. Giving it another stab. Oof, and another stab. Ooh, and another. But oh, I heard some stabbings. And it is the Amphimacauridus. Why did you waste the stick on the Amphimacauridus? We need all our sticks for the Stegotetrabelodon, but 2 tusks in the lower jaw and 2 in the upper jaw, and it's still running. Anyway, let's go closer again and get a stick from you. Now, this means we are basically out of sticks. And it's still alive. Basically, I think given it 5 sticks at this point. Nobody's got any sticks anymore. No. Okay, we need more sticks. Let's go get more sticks. This is the one that we have damaged before. Okay, never mind. This is the one that we are trying to kill. Okay. Let's continue on here. More to this side. Get it to charge past us. As I was saying, bipedalism much faster than running on 4 legs. Come on, Mr. Illy. Hello. There we go. Oh my word. We have taken down the largest land animal in this game. Hear us, world. Hear us. Okay. Wow. I did not really expect it to go that well. But there we go. Anyway, as I was saying much earlier, the baobabs that we've got here, there are so many myths about them, that I know of at least. One of them is that the baobab was once a very upright tree. And because it was growing so upright, it was actually a very prideful tree, I believe is the word that's used to describe it. So it was very, very proud of the fact that it was growing so tall and beautifully. And then because it was so prideful, and you know, pride is a sin, the gods decided to pull all of them up, or out of the ground, and throw them down onto the ground upside down. And that is then why they are growing upside down. Basically, it looks like their roots are up in the air and their leaves are supposed to be somewhere underground. Now, during the dry season, they don't have leaves like they have got here. Around here, in South Africa, not where I am, but in South Africa, they only have leaves from about November up until April. So for, well, yeah, sometimes about 6 months of the year, they can have leaves. The rest of the year they are they drop the leaves, so they are deciduous, meaning they don't have leaves during the dry season. And then those branches at the top really look like, well, roots, and that's where the myth of them being upside down actually comes from. And it's also known as the upside down tree for that reason. So that's the one myth I know of about why it looks like an upside down tree. The other myth, and I believe this is the Bushman one, relates to the upper god giving all the animals a tree to plant, and the hyena was in charge of planting the baobab. And because the hyena is such a weird looking animal, it's not considered wasn't considered necessarily the most intelligent of the lot, and it planted its tree upside down. And as a result, we have the baobab. So, well, that was a very, very successful mission, I do believe. We, however, have not managed to get to the meteorite, which is over there. So I think let's quickly run over there and just do that. There's a whole herd of elephants, of course, on that side. We are not going to go mess with a herd. You first need to isolate an elephant, and then you need to go and try and kill it. Not sure what the 4 tusks were for. It's quite probable that it had to do with getting either bark off trees or digging up tubers, as some of the Gomphotheres, I believe, would have done, which are some of those elephants with the weird tusks at the bottom. I expect these are the Num again. Now, if they are Num, it's actually quite strange, because Num have got quite big thorns on them. And this is Caressa macrocarpa, and we're going to probably get an upset stomach, because this one, there we go, it's definitely not ripe yet. But anyway, that one was still yellow. They need to be red for you to really be able to eat them. Now, interesting with the Num, well, first of all, it's got spines normally, which is a defense mechanism for them. So they are defended against herbivores, trying to eat them. Thorny things are not as nice to eat. But also, they've got their white sap, a latex, within their branches and fruit and everything. And very often, we consider things with white latex like that, we consider them poisonous, not to be eaten by humans. But in this case, like with figs, which also have that latex, it is actually edible. Now, the bad thing is that this Num is very closely related to the Bushman's poisonberry, the Acantharia, which we also have in this game. Hello, I can hear you, Miocene horses. Come on. We're going to kill you with a rock. Shame. Old Hyperion, the pony in Greek. Might as well grab a little snack on the way here. But as mentioned previously, with Hyperion, Greek for pony, they were actually a little bit smaller than what, as they are depicted here. They're not quite as big as the quagga, which this species in the game is based on. The coloration here really is the quagga's coloration, with the typical zebra-like stripes. And then the rump without any stripes whatsoever. So you can see it on the ones at the back there, a brownish rump. That is typical of the coloration we had in the South African or the Cape subspecies of the Burchell's or Plains zebra, Equus quagga. And Hyperion was supposed to have 3 toes on their feet. In this case, however, it only has 1 big toe, which is typical of the normal quagga, or the normal horse that we still have. Let's just dodge away from the Miocene rhino. It's not running towards us anymore. I actually just wanted to get the evolution feat, I think, for dodging. Come on, charge me. He's trying to intimidate me. Now, at this point, it most likely would have charged, actually. They have very poor eyesight. Oof. That one got stamped. Anyway, they have very poor eyesight, which means that they generally charge without seeing you. They know, there we go. They've got far better hearing and smell than they have got eyesight. So they smell something and they go, oh, there's something dangerous in that direction, and then they kind of charge without knowing exactly what they're charging at, in this case. Oh, for the first time in quite a while, we are trying to face our fears again. Interesting. Oh, there's basalt. That's going to be quite useful to have. Oh, there are some black-backed jackals here as well. Just going to intimidate them. Some more black-backed jackals up there. We are going to attack you in any case. Hello, little jackal. There we go. Canis mesomelas. And intimidate anything in the general vicinity. Ah, we actually have to go here. Perfect. Conquer our fear. Bash the baby's brains out. And now that we are all here, including Mr. Hopalong, we can inspect the meteorite. Interesting, there aren't many areas for us left to go and find or discover. There's one there. There's some more. There's a jackal again walking over there. They've got this typical jog to them, which you can to some extent see there. It's like they own the place. They really have got attitude, and I love them. But there's one there, one place we can still discover. There's another place there way at the back with that meteorite, and another one over there, which we are going to visit as well. I think, yeah, we have killed a blackback jackal before. Oh, hello, okay. Yes, our little hominid is deciding it is very, very tired. Let's just first go and discover that little spot over there, and then we can take a nap. I think next episode we most likely are going to venture forth into the great unknown. We are going to go to the canyon, which I believe is that side, where we are heading into more arid environment. And we are going to encounter one of my favorite plants, which I have not seen yet. We need to go to Namibia to actually go and see that, so you'll have to stay tuned to go and see what I'm referring to. Interesting, I wonder what these birds are, what that's represented by this massive flock flying around here. Hipparion spondoasis. Ah, there we go. So, referring, of course, to the ponies, the Hipparion there. But I think these birds flying in this massive flock, that could be one of two things, I think. It could be representing the flocks that are associated with fire moving through the savanna. Very often when there is fire, lots of birds will fly in front of the fire and hawk the insects that are flying around ahead of the fire. Or it could be referring to birds that are looking at these termite mounds as a source of food. There is something in the area. Oh, there's the horses, the Hipparions. And what happens is with these termite mounds, there are the allets. And the allets are the flying termites, the ones that have produced their wings, that have got wings, and they are trying to establish new colonies. And when right conditions are met, usually after rain, these termite mounds will be producing lots and lots of allets. Now, I found this fascinating when I learnt about this. Normally with ants, certain eggs will develop into allets, but with termites, what happens is that their eggs basically hatch, okay, and they metamorphose into nymphs, which are the juveniles, and those nymphs are useless and are fed by the workers. And then those nymphs metamorphose further and become workers, and then some of those workers can metamorphose even further to become soldiers, and then some of the workers can also metamorphose into becoming allets, which are then the males and females, the new kings and queens that can establish a new little termite mound, which I found very fascinating. The fact that because termites are not related to ants, they may look like ants, and this is an example of convergent evolution, which is when two species independently converge on a similar body plan and a similar strategy, in this case making these big mounds. And some ants can also make mounds, not quite as big as termites, but we'll visit the termites again in a future episode. But these termite mounds are basically chimneys to keep the colony cool, which is quite an ingenious building thing, or thing to build. But as I was saying, the termites over here are actually more closely related to cockroaches than they are to ants. They are far related, or very, very far removed from ants. Even though they look the same, they definitely are not related. With ants being closer to bees and wasps in the order Hymenoptera, whereas termites are and cockroaches are in the Blattodea, which is the cockroach family. And it is believed that termites actually evolved from wood-eating cockroaches. So there are some primitive cockroaches that are wood-eating, and then their ancestors, most likely at the end of the Jurassic, I believe it was, because they are fossils from the early Cretaceous, and it is believed they diverged at in the late Jurassic, so quite a few million years ago. The termites split away from those wood-eating cockroaches and then formed their own little species, or formed their own little suborder, which I find quite fascinating. I do find quite a lot of things very, very fascinating, as I'm sure you have realized over the course of these 50 episodes that I have done thus far. Woohoo! Now, interesting, it is believed that this Ardipithecus ramidus, which we have here, was actually monogamous rather than polygynous, as the previous species would have been. So, as Sahelanthropus chadensis and Auroran would have been. And this monogamousness, monogamonity, whatever you call it, of the Ardipithecus is, rather they say it's most likely, or was most likely monogamous, based on the fact that there's very little sexual dimorphism between male and females. So males and females, at least in the teeth, are very, very similar in appearance. And in species which are polygynous in the primates, and also a lot of infighting amongst males, like the baboons, which your males can fight quite viciously, and in chimpanzees, I believe, as well, the canines are far more pronounced in the males than they are in the females. Whereas with the Ardipithecus here, there's very little tooth differentiation in terms of the canines between the male and female. Both of them have actually relatively underdeveloped canines, not as pronounced as you would have in some of the other primates. Living ones or extinct ones. There we go. Chase this guy away, this female python away from her nest. She's just trying to brood her eggs, but she drew attention to herself, so now we're going to eat her eggs, because, you know, why not? Let's just poison ourselves on our journey back to our settlement. Where's the other one? Again, there we go. Yee! Why are you taking a casual stroll through the savannah? There are big elephants over there. Let's just check whether this one... No, it's not hurt. It's just lazy. Just doesn't want to run. Well, that's typically me as well. I don't run. If you ever see me running, please kill whatever is chasing me. But in any case, as I was saying, so this lack of sexual dimorphism being when males and females look different, at least in tooth structure here. Ooh, I think... Okay, we have successfully gained another neuronal pathway in omnivory, most likely due to the fact that we have eaten an egg and suffered the consequences as a result. We just have to run around the hippos which are living at our settlement. Such a funny creature. Notice the pink coloration that they have? That is they actually become pinker the sunnier it is and the more they are sweating, because their sweat looks like blood, but it isn't blood. It just contains reddish oils. Yeah, let's chase you all away. It just contains reddish oils which protects them against the sun, because they will get sunburnt very, very easily if it weren't for those oils. I'm just going to try and see if we can, perhaps, here at the watering hole, kill a gazelle. There we go. Yes! Another new source of meat, and we have killed another new creature. Oh, a shame. The Dorcas gazelle. Gazella dorcas. Very easy to remember that scientific name. Dorcas gazelle. This is a new thing to inspect for us. As I keep on trying to say, the lack of differentiation in canines means that there was very little infighting with this species over here. And it also means that they most likely were monogamous, and one male did not have many females, because in species like the Chacma baboon, which we have where I am, even at our university, we have got a whole bunch of Chacma baboons running around and terrorizing our students. But with those ones, the males are very often will fight with one another quite violently, and they have got a little bit more pronounced canines than the females would have. Actually, not little, they actually have far more pronounced canines than the females have. And so they're also polygynous, so one male with many females. There's one male leading the troop, and then of course he will fight with other males and to have access to the females. And so here, as we are drinking water after a nice little feast with the Ardipithecus family, or Ardipithecus troop, we are going to end the episode here. So thank you again for joining me on this journey with the 50th episode. It has been a tremendous honor for me to thus far be able to make videos and you guys watching it, and I'm going to keep on making videos and let's see where we can go from here. So if you want to support the channel, please leave a like below, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and make it possible for this channel to grow even more. But until next time, stay safe everybody. I will see you all soon.